Hello, I am Claudia Lash, and I have been a quilter for a long time. In fact, I have been a quilter so long that sometimes I have forgotten which quilts I have made. And so I thought today I would show you a quilt that I made and forgot totally about. This is an older quilt. I found it this morning in the closet. It was made in 2005. I think at the time I made it because there was it was the anniversary of the Lewis and Clark expedition, like the 200th anniversary. And I think there was a fabric company that put out a collection of fabrics that were called Lewis and Clark Expedition Fabrics. And I thought, oh yay, I will buy those fabrics and design a quilt and use them in that quilt. So this is my own design, only using Lewis and Clark fabrics. I think since 2005, my tastes have changed a little bit. I rarely use this type of fabric anymore, but it was kind of fun to see this quilt and think, golly, I forgot all about it. I thought I would show it to you in order to, remind you, if you're a new quilter, that when you make something, the first thing you always must remember, and I've mentioned this before, you need to put a label on the quilt. This one, luckily, had a label, or I would have totally forgotten even when I made it, or why I made it, or anything about it. My label always includes the name of the quilt, and when I made it, and if someone quilted it, and this was quilted by a gal named Pam Edens. So I'm glad that I had that information that sort of reminded me what I was thinking in 2005. Also, you should take a photograph of the quilt. I may have done that in 2005. I don't know, I don't really remember. But we need to, as quilters, we need to keep track of the quilts that we make. We also, really, if we were really good, we would get them appraised by a certified appraiser, because there is treasure in our quilts, not just monetary treasure, but sometime our kids, our grandkids will want to know who made this and maybe more about it. So anyway, I was impressed with myself when I made it, because I thought, oh, I used some interesting, there are 4 piece blocks. There's a star in the center. There is, I like this pineapple block that I did. I don't know where. I must have found these blocks in books, different books and everything, and did a little applique. I just thought when I looked at it, I really liked this quilt. I wanted to see it again. It may only hang in this room for a few days because it's just a little, doesn't really go with my decor very well. But I wanted other people, especially new quilters, to remember, take a picture of your quilts after you get them made. Put a label on your quilts after you have them made. Well, and I guess that's the main thing. When you get of an age that you've got lots and lots of quilts, sometimes we tend to forget what we've made and what we have done somewhere, and it's just good to remember that we have these quilts, and someday somebody will want to know more about them, I imagine, and so we need to have a record of them somewhere. So that this is called my Lewis and Clark quilt. such a great name